From America's home of racing, it's time to see the Saturday Night Truck Series' longest race in league history, 225 miles, 150 laps, and a $50 prize to the winner, with over $50 elsewhere being given out to the remainder of the pack. This is the World 225, the longest race in Season 5, and it's going to be one of these races to remember, with a track packed with drivers. Over 18 drivers have registered for the session already, and 3 minutes remain in qualifying, with Jordan Kuntz, back-to-back winner, the fastest man so far, sending down hot laps. The field is still getting ready to perform live in just a few minutes. Grid is going to be set by the time we hit 7:50, and then from there we'll be going racing all the way deep into the night. Drivers are still making moves. That's going to be Kenneth Garrell done with his run. Alec Daffin is now going to be 7th, and it looks like Alexander Russell will be in 8th. Matthew Weeks is returning to the group, and it looks like Austin Holsey will too, with Liam Sheen coming back after an action-packed battle at Watkins Glen. He'll be now taking his first lap on the track. Great to have you all in one of the most intense races all season long. This is the longest race, of course, and it's going to have some of the most drivers. It's one of those fields that gets packed up. Big reason to be out here. If you've raced at least once, you're eligible for the $100 prize pool and the $50 bonus that goes to the winner at the end of the night. So we'll be seeing many drivers, and I think there's a lot of reason to stick around. Great to have you all viewing on FTN. Yet again, I'll be your host for tonight's broadcast, David Kreutz, and as things get going here in qualifying, still a little more time to see who can shoot to the top of the charts. Liam Sheen is looking to go up there to the pole position. He's 0.3 of a second faster than his most recent lap, and he still has half the track to go to make up a bit more time, and it looks like he will try to do so, arcing it deep into turns 3 and 4, using the paint to get a bit more grip. And as he comes across the line this time by, this is the make or break lap at the stripe. Liam Sheen goes all the way up into 5th on the board. From 9th, he's going to be inside the top 5. Matthew Weeks is now going to be on the way in his number 11 Toyota Tundra. Multi-time winner last season, has not been able to break through so far in this campaign, but he's still got a lot of time to do so. 5th race of the season out of 12, so still more than half of the campaign is ahead of us, and right now it looks like it's going to be Matthew Weeks 0.6 of a second faster than his most recent run. Going to be up there in the contention for the top 5 as well when Matthew comes across the line this time by. He'll be in 12th right now, but he's going to be able to jump all the way up into 8th. So it's going to be very close to the top of the board, just a little too shallow off of corner 4, and it's going to be Matthew Weeks into 8th. He's the final man on the track here in qualifying. Already drivers going to be wrapping it up and calling it a night here from Charlotte. Qualifying is effectively over, and the fastest man on the board is yet to be officially determined, but it looks like it is now stated that we've got a pole sitter, and we've got over 15 drivers that are going to be starting right behind. Top of the charts are going to be the number 5 machine, as always, up there, but Alec Daffin, his teammate, will best him, and the number 48 will start in first here from America's home for racing. The World 225 just moments away from getting started, and it's going to be Daffin and Jordan Kuntz 1-2 yet again, as they were last week at Dover. They'll line up on the front row for Shaw Racing, with JD Laird back in 3rd. And now, with second practice on the way, there's a little bit of time to get to know your starting grid as we get things rolling here in Charlotte. And now, with all this extra time to show you what's going on tonight, let's take a quick glance at your starting grid and find out who is starting where into the most important race of the season for every driver to this point. Cash prizes, high stakes, and some big-time racing from one of the big tracks in the NASCAR world. This is the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and this is the World 225. So without further ado, let's get to know your starting grid for tonight's event. And the Shaw Racing duo, once again, is going to lead off the field. It's going to be Alec Daffin and the number 48 machine at the top, and it's going to be a 30.311 up in front for Daffin, with Jordan Kuntz then second in the number 5 machine with a 30.34. Third place on the order going to be just beyond the Shaw Racing duo, and that's going to be JD Laird, only 11,000ths of a second off the front row. He'll be starting 3rd with a 30.351, and Vinny Tigner's then going to be 4th with a 33.61. Liam Sheen's going to be the man rounds out the top 5 with a 33.82, and Sheen's going to be right beside Henry Caloff, with Henry being there in the 6th spot. 30.396 for the 35 machine, as Sam Benson, the 3rd driver in the Shaw Racing team tonight, he'll be starting just beyond the top 5 inside of row number 4, taking his Chevy Silverado up into 7th with a 30.419. Matthew Weeks will be there in the grade 8, 11th spot for Matthew. Very good final lap, but just wasn't able to make it happen out of the final corner, and oh so close. Your top 10 separated by only just a 1/10 of a second, going back until Timothy Wheeler, and then you'll see the drop off to 30.448 for Wheeler, still chasing his first career podium. He got oh so close at Watkins Glen, then got even closer again at Dover, and now he's got a chance to go for it once more in the longest night of the season. He's always been very good with attrition races, and Kenneth Garrell having to muscle his car around with no front end at Dover, looking for a better race tonight. He'll be starting in the 10th spot with a 35.61 and the 57 back on the board, as Austin Hosey's going to be scored 11th with a 35.85. It'll be Michael Newton with a 31.032, and the final man to take a timed lap is going to be Alexander Russell and his 32.671. Then from there, it's going to be the number 6, Curtis Barron, back on the field after his debut last week. He's going to be starting in 14th with Carter Casey, then 15th, Tommy Osborne in the 16th spot, and Phillip Brown on debut in 16th. To round out the 17 drivers officially scored tonight, it'll be James Nelson in the number 75, as we see your starting grid for the World 225. The field is set, and they're getting ready to go racing. Now, 1 minute and 51 seconds left on the timing charts, and we'll bring you back to our official timing and scoring screen as the track is packed. Drivers getting their final adjustments in, finding out what must be done. It's going to be an all-night race tonight, and as you can see, no sunlight to speak of. Henry Caloff is currently the fastest man on the board, and his number 35 going to be quickest now by 1/10 of a second as he runs in the draft to the number 54 of Phillip Brown. The drivers are already going to be on the track, and you'll see that 9 drivers have taken a lap when we pull up the overall ticker for this qualifying session. 9 drivers have taken a lap. Vinny Tigner, Austin Holsey, and Liam Sheen, while not having a lap in just yet, they have all gone onto the track, and a lot of drivers, more than half of which are using second practice tonight, which is more than usual. These adjustments will matter. What you can find out later in the race might be the difference between victory and defeat, and might be the difference between getting a cash prize or coming home without anything. Now, at less than a minute left, it's going to be Caloff battling down low, and he'll take that number 35 machine once again to the bottom side, trying to make a pass, and it looks like he will. He's still the quickest man on the charts right now, with JD Laird in the 2nd spot. The number 23 machine gonna go right up high and use that exit to maybe go for something on this final lap. It's gonna be a close call, though. 27 seconds left on the board, and it looks like it's gonna be a 30-second lap at the best, so maybe it's gonna be JD done with his run here in second practice before we know it. Sam Benson's going to be now down on pit road. Timothy Wheeler and Phillip Brown are still going, and now a total of 10 drivers have taken the time in practice, but no driver able to top this number 35 machine. It's going to be Henry Caloff, the fastest man in second practice, as we say hello to the longest race of the season. This is the World 225, and Henry Caloff will lead him off. Pole position he might not have, but he's the fastest man in warm-up. And now, with that in mind, it's time to see your starting grid, not just the numbers. Let's see the trucks, and they're all going to be organized down on pit road as we get ready to rumble. Pit road's going to be busy as it stands, and it looks like it's going to be the driver starting on the start-finish line tonight. Jordan Kuntz already going to be there, and it looks like everyone save for Alec Daffin is as well. Liam Sheen going to be there, so is Henry Caloff, Matthew Weeks as well, and all these drivers getting ready for the racing. Kenneth Garrell back in the field, Michael Newton, Alexander Russell, and even James Nelson now going to be on the track, and it's a line of trucks. No matter the manufacturer, no matter the team, they're all here for one reason, and that is to win. And here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, victory is especially prestigious, and every driver wants to get it done tonight more almost than any other race on the season. Maybe the championship race a bit more, but for guys not running for points, if you you win tonight, it's a cash out that's big, quite literally. So as we get things going tonight, of course, David Kreutz with you alongside the FTN team for tonight's broadcast, but we're here at the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway. Taking a look at our FTN track information, you'll see the mile-and-a-half track diagram on the top of the screen now. 4 turns in Concord, North Carolina, and a mile-and-a-half exactly, one of the very first intermediate tracks seen in motorsport, and it's been opened ever since 1960, most recently repaved in 2006 after the Indianapolis Motor Speedway was given a diamond grading procedure. Charlotte followed as well, and since then we have not seen a repave in nearly 20 years. This is, of course, one of those tracks that's very different for its time. We've seen many intermediates as of recent become developed, but Curtis Turner, the brain of the Curtis Turner, indeed, he got it done, was the man who set this plan into motion, and intermediates are his sort of baby per se. He thought of the idea, got it done with Bruton Smith, and this track exists as a result. Charlotte Motor Speedway coming from the mind of a driver, and it's here with many drivers still taken to the track, whether it is real or virtual. Now, with the race rundown in mind, Jordan Kuntz has been on a tear, so he's the defending winner yet again. And as we go through, this is the longest race of the Saturday Night Truck Series season. NASCAR Craftsman trucks on full display, and alongside all these pieces of information, no fast repairs or instant damage repair. It is one and done. You go with what you got and hope to make it to the end. 225 miles, 150 laps, and the field's rolling off this time by as the FTN race rundown will show you the info. Now, time to see the racing firsthand. And the drivers getting lined up with Jordan Kuntz right up high. The 2 teammates once again at the front of the field. These 2 have been dominant all season long, but Jordan Kuntz done the bulk of the winning. He's gotten that bulk share back-to-back as of recent, so he's been doing very good so far. Lane Graves and Davis Lewis, your only other winners on the season, are not here tonight. Most of the heavy lifting done by Jordan to this point, but Alec Daffin knows he has pace. The question is, can he execute and find himself in victory lane when the night is done? He had very good pace early at Dover, was quick at Homestead too, but now for Shaw Racing, the number 48 machine wants to prove its worth yet again and maybe come through for the first time on a Thursday night since before season 4. It's been a drought of over a season now, but Daffin, with the biggest stage and the most high stakes in mind, knows tonight would be the perfect time to break out and break through and come right back to victory lane. 150 laps of action from Charlotte begin. This is the World 225, and we're underway from America's home for racing. At the line, it's still going to be the man in the 48 up ahead. Alec Daffin will lead the way, and after him going to be Jordan Kuntz and J.D. Laird, with Vinny Tigner now in the 5th spot. It's going to be Liam Sheen, position number 4. Up and down the order, going to see a lot of double file racing here, and it looks like already going to be some drivers getting at it, looking for positions and trying to make moves early. Side by side, Kenneth Gurrell going to be with Alexander Russell, and so will Matthew Weeks find himself there with Timothy Wheeler. Both drivers going to be going at it already, as Alec Daffin is going to now move up to a more sizable race lead. He'll have Jordan Kuntz right there behind him, and J.D. Laird also chasing them at the same time. Liam Sheen to the number 92 machine's going to be in the single file pack as well. Drivers already going to be turned though. Number 17's going to go around. Caution is out. Multiple drivers getting tagged. That's going to involve Phillip Brown, and it looks like Michael Newton going to go around for his spin. Newton going to be the first incident of the day, and just like that, the caution is out for the first time tonight. Michael Newton going to be spinning, and we're back under yellow as soon as we left it. So caution will fly. Let's take a look back at just what happened and see what caused the wreck here with Michael Newton, as it looks like he turned into the back straightaway there trying to get up top. Was not clear, and it looks like James Nelson going to get caught up in it. So was Philip Brown, and multiple drivers back of the pack going to get involved and bring out the caution immediately here. 4 laps in out of 150, and we're underway with a bang. Caution's out, and we'll get right back to live feed here with JD Laird first on the board, but Alec Daffin down low will have that race lead as we're already back under caution for the first time tonight. And now the question is, do the drivers go down to pit road early? Single file formation as it stands, but it looks like they haven't chosen to do much of anything. They'll stay down low, not going to go down to pit road, and looks like nobody choosing to, even those involved in that wreck. You'll see James Nelson now is going through, so some drivers will take the chance. Curtis Barron going to go in, and it looks like as well, Philip Brown, Tommy Osborne, and finally, James Nelson. Just like that, yellow flag going to be in effect for the first time tonight, and the caution is out. 5 laps in at a 150, and Alec Daffin leads the way. Now with the field back in formation, JD Laird going to go right up to the high side here, and the number 23 looks to take the lead. And JD's been very good in the starts he's made so far in this campaign, just has not been full-time, and that's been his Achilles heel to this point. Still, a lot of time until the regular season is over, but it's going to take a lot of running from JD to put himself back in the picture and maybe go for a victory or two. He's got Liam Sheen right behind him. These two are teammates, and they're already going to be behind the Shaw Racing duo that have been oh so dominant. Teammates have meant a lot this season, a bit more than the last, and right now it all comes down to whether or not teams can work together and control races. At first it was a B3 Designs that was dominant. Of course, Davis Lewis winning at Daytona off the push from Lane Graves. Then Graves got it done immediately after at Homestead, and now Jordan Kuntz wins at Watkins Glen, takes it back for Shaw Racing, and Alec Daffin's going to back him up at Dover, first and second between the two drivers, and now Daffin's got the lead. This team behind, the team of JDR Graphics, they've been good as well, and they controlled a good majority of Daytona, but just were not able to execute at the tail end. And just like that, the driver, the number 23, JD Laird, going to be the third, just behind the 48 and the 5. Now looking further back, everyone is going to be back in formation. Curtis Barron going to be there in 14th. Philip Brown is 15th. Tommy Osborne is 16th. And it looks like James Nelson is now going to be scored in 17th, back on the lead lap. Riding on board with this number 75 machine. He still has a ways to go. So luckily for him, the caution is going to remain out. They will not advance it, as it seems like he's still 9 seconds away from the rest of the pack. Nelson going to be off the throttle through turns 1 and 2. Not going to burn up his stuff. And now going to come back to the drivers. He's with the pack now, so everyone is set to go if the admins so choose. Alec Daffin leads the way with 2 laps till green, and the number 48 machine finds himself up in front. Jordan Kuntz going to be second, JD Laird going to be third, Liam Sheen is fourth, and Vinny Tigner position number 5. Consistency for Vinny Tigner so far in the season. He has been able to break into the podium twice over at Homestead and Dover respectively, and now looking for his third chance to do so and maybe taking back the prize pool he's given out for these drivers. A huge opportunity, $100 on the line early in the season, and that's given a lot of these guys the opportunity to come out here and look forward to the race in its entirety. 150 laps, a very long distance. You do not want to burn up your stuff early. It's all about the late race. If you can't get to the end, you're going to be in a big load of trouble. It's all about the next step, and the step after that, it's a whole picture, the bigger picture, as Alec Daffin looks forward to the first restart of the night. And now, Daffin going to be side by side with the iRacing official pace car. The 48 going to be down at the bottom. It looks like it's going to be Jordan Kuntz up on top. And JD Laird going to take him 3 down the back straightaway, looking for some clean air as he rolls off from the apron. So tire saving already going to be in effect there. Some drivers opting to go down to the apron earlier or even later during some tire runs, fuel runs to save resources. And that's exactly what JD does. Now slots are right back into line. And just like that, we're ready to go at it once again. First restart of the day, 8 laps in out of 150, and Alec Daffin will lead him through with Jordan Kuntz then second and JD Laird then in third. Biggest field of the season so far, 17 trucks looking to get it done, and Daffin's got the race lead as they'll come back to the green flag for the first time tonight. The pace car right back in, and now we're here to stay. Restart number 1 from Charlotte, back in the air with Shaw Racing 1-2 as we cross the start-finish line for lap number 8. Daffin going to be able to lead them through on the first lap of the restart here. Just beyond, Sam Benson, Vinny Tigner going to become battlers, and they'll be fighting each other high, side, and low. Further on back, Henry Kaloff going to be with Alexander Russell. Nothing much going to come from there, and already Daffin's back up to the lead with JD Laird chasing him, and JD will bring it back to the bottom. Now the number 23 machine's going to find himself in second, and Liam Sheen's going to be third, splitting up the Shaw Racing drivers. Daffin still has the lead, but from there on out, you'll see it's going to be the number 23 and 92 chasing him immediately after. So not bad at all for Daffin getting that jump, but it looks like Jordan Kuntz in a bit of early race trouble, and he'll have to go to some strategy if he wants a chance to come around later in the going and maybe go for another victory and make it 3 races in a row. Already going to be one of the title favorites this season. Jordan Kuntz has been on fire so far. Back-to-back victories after not the best start of the season. He's already back on a tear, so it looks like nothing to worry about for the defending champ as he finds himself comfortably inside the 4th position. Now he'll be right in front of Vinny Tigner. Tigner's going to try to drop down to the bottom. Liam Sheen goes down low. The only way to drop past Liam is going to be going on that high side and making the move from there. Jordan's going to stay up top. Then Vinny Tigner drives down low. They'll be side by side all over again. And 11 laps in out of 150. It looks like now the 5 machine gets clear, uses that momentum, and Vinny Tigner's going to try to take it to the bottom and get right past Sheen as Liam still holds on to the final spot within the confines of the top 4. Alec Daffin already leads by half a second. 3 of the drivers for Shaw Racing Night are already going to be inside of the top 10. 7th is the furthest back they are right now for Sam Benson, and Benson's going to find himself in the 7th spot just behind Matthew Weeks and Vinny Tigner. Alexander Russell's going to be right there too, and they're single file right now for the most part, save for 2 drivers in Henry Kaloff and Austin Holsey. Holsey going to go down to the bottom side here and now. Austin will take him deep, and Curtis Barron's going to come right there too. So it looks like the number 6 machine gets loose, comes up the track, contact again, and it's going to be Michael Newton involved with another JBL truck passing by. The 54 of Philip Brown gets through, and now he'll be right in front of Michael Newton all over again. Side by side for a brief moment, Newton's going to be able to save it, and just like that, the race stays under green as Alec Daffin's going to lead him by yet again. 13 laps in out of 150. Daffin leads by 0.2 of a second, and then from there, JD Laird is going to be in the 2nd spot, chasing and actually gaining some time on the most recent laps. And all of a sudden, now the number 48 machine of Alec Daffin losing some time and taking a look off the rear bumper. You're going to see it, and you now know that JD Laird's got that speed, but the numbers will tell you an even greater story. That time by, he was about 0.2 of a second quicker lap after lap, and now looks like JD's got the bottom side. It's going to be Daffin up top, JD Laird right down low, and JD's going to try to go for it. Doesn't get much of it that time by. He'll stick down to the bottom, trying to make it happen yet again, but Daffin uses that high high side momentum to his advantage to gain 0.2 of a second worth of lead, and now it's going to be the 48 machine back ahead with a strong gap. It looks like JD Laird loses some momentum, and Jordan Kuntz now has a chance to get right back in the picture. The number 5 machine finds himself in third. Vinny Tigner makes it by for fourth, and Matthew Weeks is now there in fifth. Liam Sheen going to fade back a bit further, and Liam now going to find himself in the 6th spot in that number 92. Sam Benson going to be right behind this pack even still, and it's going to be a Shaw Racing sandwich once again, with Jordan Kuntz now finding himself the leading driver in this bunch as they chase down the top 2 drivers who have broken away. Now it looks like all of a sudden Daffin has a 0.7 of a second lead. No jeopardy of losing it for now, and after one contested lap, the 23 fades back big and is seeing some pressure now from Jordan Kuntz, who is saving tires much better, and that tire saving will mean a lot of a difference along the way. Now JD is going to wash up a bit further on the track. 0.7 of a second separate second and third, and that time by Jordan Kuntz 2 seconds. Of course, he was behind. He's dropped it down with 0.2 of a second being shaved lap after lap. So now it's going to be 1.4 seconds behind the driver of the 23. He's bringing the whole field with him too, so expecting to see JD Laird wasting some time here trying to hold on, but it looks like not much more you can do but expect to see the drivers like the 5, the 12, and the 11 in his rear view mirror in just a handful of laps. Now going to be Jordan Kuntz putting on the pressure. Alec Daffin leads the way, 18 laps in of 150, and the rest of the field still going to be following. Closest battle on the track right now going to be for 16th. That's going to be between James Nelson and Michael Newton. Newton's going to be now on the bottom side with James Nelson up top, and it looks like the Rushfield Racing number 75 gets the position with a bit of a swerve there from Michael Newton. Tommy Osborne stays back as well, and Tommy's going to find himself scored 17th and last as it stands. Some trouble right now for the JBL trio. Looks like their highest position driver is Philip Brown in 14th. Then you'll go back to James Nelson, who's going to split them up, and Michael Newton, Tommy Osborne 16th and 17th respectively. So still a ways to go for this crew to get back on top, but still leaning toward getting that experience as opposed to being more aggressive. Learning the track, getting laps, that's what it's all about right now. Despite some troubles early, still some time for Osborne, Newton, and Philip Brown to make it back up front and start chasing down the rest of the pack. In addition, right now, it looks like JD Laird is now once again chasing Alec Daffin down. Now going to be 0.5 of a second behind the number 48 machine, as opposed to being 0.7 back. The number 23 machine now going to be getting even closer to where he was before and gaining that track position back all over again, and going to give JD a shot to get back in to the lead battle without anyone else. Now it's going to be 0.8 of a second back to Jordan Kuntz, so Jordan is fading back a bit more, and that's not going to be good at all for any opportunity to claim that lead or even get away from Vinny Tigner here, because Vinny stayed on the back bumper quite well, and it looks like so far this number 12 has not given up. 21 laps in, still very early into the racing, but it looks like every driver up within the top 10 is still giving it all they've got to stay within 5 seconds of your leader. As a matter of fact, 14 drivers within 5 seconds, and within the top 10 they're separated by only 3.7 to the man on the top of the board, and Alec Daffin. Rest of the pack is still very close to one another, but Daffin not in another zip code per se, but definitely has the best position in the house. Not very close. JD Laird is right now. Might be quicker once again, but it looks like it's going to be back and forth, up and down, as Daffin's going to be cruising it a bit more. Not going to be wearing out his equipment, knowing he has that race lead, and pit road's going to be much more important if we continue to have long green flag runs. Equipment being preserved is much more important than being aggressive early, and right now most drivers seem to know that. Nobody going to be going for a side-by-side battle right now. Liam Sheen looks to be the closest, and that he will be down to the bottom side. Liam takes it. The number 92 machine now going to be scored in the 5th spot, with Matthew Weeks fading back a bit more, and it looks like, yes, Matthew Weeks will concede. It looks like it's going to be Liam Sheen now finding himself in position number 5. And now the number 92 machine, Liam Sheen, going to be scored in a 5th. Alec Daffin going to be leading the way right now, and JD Laird there in a 2nd. 1, 2, 3. 1 second going to be going right through the order in the podium, and and Liam Sheen gonna now see his teammate of JD Laird chasing back the number 48 of Alec Daffin. Looks like JD's a bit quicker once again, but it's been back and forth, toss and turn, and Jordan Kuntz is that much closer now, so the podium is not separate by a wide margin, and it looks like now even the top four are getting closer and closer. Vinny Tigner still going to be brought on by the toe of our defending champion, and Tigner will take Vinny up there into the fight for the lead. If JD Laird can get closer to Daffin, it might become four drivers going for the top spot, and as it stands, 25 laps in out of 150, it looks like now JD's losing some time to Jordan Kuntz, but still gaining a bit more on Alec Daffin. Let's take a look on board with the number 48 machine right now to see exactly what's going on as he continues to lead the way 25 laps in the World 225. And the caution will fly for the second time tonight, 26 laps in. JD Laird going to be backwards on the track, and he's going to get caught up here back of the field. Drivers flying by, but in an oh-so-close battle for the lead, it looks like JD Laird going to get washed up high before he even got to the top spot. Caution is out for the second time tonight, and just like that, we are back under yellow. Jordan Kuntz was up on the high side there. JD Laird thinks he's clear, comes back up, and both drivers going to go spinning. Kuntz avoids contact with the wall. JD Laird gonna run it backwards, and now gonna be up at the fence until he unfortunately has to get it back out bottom of the field. He's 17th and last right now. Looks like every driver gonna pass him by, even Jordan Kuntz. And now JD Laird, Jordan Kuntz bring out the caution just behind your leader in Alec Daffin. Yellow flag is out. Two major race winning contenders now fade back, have damage, and lose all their track position. Yellow out once again as we head back to your live feed. And now it's gonna be Alec Daffin leading the way from Vinny Tigner, Liam Sheen, Matthew Weeks, and Sam Benson. That is your top five as the drivers come down to pit road this time by. Pit road is indeed busy, and now we've got ourselves a race on, and we'll find out who's able to race off first and maybe gain a bit more track position. And all drivers going to be coming through as aggressive as they can get. Double file on pit road right now. Daffin not going to have to worry much. He's got that pole position. That's the most important tactic, of course, using that track position to your advantage. Daffin's got the lead right now. 4 tires and fuel looks to be the norm, but Sam Benson comes out quickly and will take the race lead. Benson going to be out in front now, has that lead by a wide margin, and the rest of the field going to be going as follows. Going further on back, it's going to be Alec Daffin coming through, then Liam Sheen, Matthew Weeks, Vinny Tigner, and Alexander Russell in 6th, with Timothy Wheeler now in 7th, Austin Holsey 8th, Henry Caloff in 9th, and Kenneth Gurrell position number 10. Caution's going to bring the drivers down to pit road for the first time tonight, and Sam Benson will lead the way. And now, just like that, 28 laps in, out of 150. Bit of a shuffle here after pit road. Drivers deciding which spots they're supposed to be in. Liam Sheen going to take 3rd. Matthew Weeks going to fade back for 4th. And Vinny Tigner now going to be in 5th. Sam Benson going to lead the way, though, in that number 88 machine. And he finds himself at the top spot for the first time. Still been dominated all race long by Shaw Racing drivers. But for the first time this season, it's Sam Benson leading his team out in front. Caution going to be gone away in 2 laps time. We'll be going back green effectively at lap 32, and Benson will lead over Alec Daffin, Liam Sheen, and Vinny Tigner. Matthew Weeks all there in the fold as well. 88 machine for Shaw Racing out in front. That is Sam Benson, who finds himself ahead for the first time this season. It's a Benson and Daffin front row leading the way. As the drivers come through this time by double file in procedure. Looking further back, the field's going to have some drivers on pit road. Tommy Osborne just got off, and it looks like Philip Brown will be on the move as well. Final driver there going to be J.D. Laird, getting more damage repair, hoping to put himself back up into contention as the night goes on. So currently the 23 machine going to be scored in 17th yet again, as Sam Benson leads from Alec Daffin second, Liam Sheen third, and Matthew Weeks fourth. So far, so good. Every driver still going to be on the lead lap, on the track, exactly what needs to be done. Right now, these laps are being logged, and you don't want to worry too much about the first 100 laps. Things get crazy in the final 50. If you make it there, you got a much better shot of winning, of course, so you want to preserve your equipment until the final moments, because that's when push comes to shove, and it will take you for a wild ride. So far, though, nobody's seen much trouble up in front, save for Kuntz and J.D. Laird. Front runners have been mostly much calmer, and the back of the field has been able to straighten it out as well. All drivers still have the opportunity to come home with a $50 prize for first place. $100 on the line, going to be $50 going to your race winner, $30 going to second place, and third will have $20 at the end of the night. It only will be, of course, if you have driven at least one race this season, and most drivers up in front do not have a problem with that qualification. They have all at least made one start. Some of these drivers making every race this season to this point. Pace car going to be now out. Lights are out indeed, and one lap to green this time by. Will be going back green instead at lap number 31 with Sam Benson and Alec Daffin up ahead. Third going to be Sheen. Fourth going to be Matthew Weeks, and Vinny Tigner will round out the top five as we say hello to our second restart of the day as we go back to it. Lap 31 of 150. As the pack comes by, this time around going to be Daffin and Benson. This time, Daffin's not the race leader. Sam Benson is. Definitely going to be a change of look up at the front of the field, and all of a sudden, it looks like it's going to be the Shaw Racing Ford up ahead. Benson from Chevys to Ford for tonight's event, and foreseeably the rest of the season, he'll be up there for the blue oval alone, and he'll take him down to the green flag up in front. Restart number 2 for Sam Benson, leading the field with Alec Daffin up high. Dead even restart, but Daffin gets clear. And all of a sudden, Alec Daffin once again out in front, takes it right back from his teammate in Benson, and Liam Sheen now going to be taking it to the bottom as well. When J.D. Laird fell through, it looks like his teammates came back up. Alexander Russell now going to be scored to the third spot, chasing Liam Sheen as well. So when it was, of course, J.D. Laird going forward, it was the drivers of the Shaw Racing crew as well, fighting right beside him. But now it's going to be new drivers in the fray. Matthew Weeks, Vinny Tigner, and even Timothy Wheeler now going to be on that bottom side. So different drivers coming up to the top of the pack right now, getting the chance to compete early in the race. 32 laps in out of 150, still going to be held up in front by Alec Daffin, but Sheen makes a great jump, gets up to that second spot, and all of a sudden has a chance to go deeper into the podium. One more spot to claim, and he'd like to get it right back. An even 0.4 of a second right now separate your top two drivers, make it 5 now. Half a second between your leader and Liam Sheen. Sheen going to be fading back a bit further now as the rest of the pack gets single file. You'll see Sam Benson has gone all the way back down into the 8th spot, so not too much going well for that driver in the number 88 machine, able to use that track position, try to make something happen, but all of a sudden now it looks like it's going to be fading back very fast on the same set of tire, but still just not able to hack it right now, and fading back to the bottom of the field. The 88th of Sam Benson going to be scored in 10th. Top 10 going to have him at the back of it. Alec Daffin still going to be its leader. And from there, Liam Sheen and Alexander Russell see Matthew Weeks go back to the bottom. And now Weeks makes it through up in the third. Besties looked all night long already. And Matthew Weeks finds himself scored in third. Final man inside the podium early in the race. Not a bad start at all as the driver of the number 11 machine for JD Designs gets up in front. Now going to be fighting up ahead with Liam Sheen and Daffin as well. New driver drivers getting up to the front of the field, and now it looks like it's going to be the question of whether anyone can get by Daffin. It looks like so far a 1 second advantage, and after J.D. Laird and Jordan Kuntz both got damaged, now they're at the back of the pack. This might be Daffin's night to win. He's been waiting all this time to try to get back up there. Second in the championship last season, second last week, continuously finding himself in the runner-up spot, but now looking to snap that streak and come through on top once again. Tonight could be the one for victory lane and Alec Daffin, but Liam Sheen, the rookie, wants to take it for his own. He will find himself 1 second back, but if the race goes even longer, Alec Daffin has been prone to losing a bit more time with less tire-saving strategies, so Liam might be able to conserve his equipment a bit more and let Alec do all the reeling back in, giving Sheen a chance to get that lead even before our next pit cycle comes into play. Further back from the top 3 drivers, it's going to be a big bunch. Austin Holsey going to be right ahead of Henry Kaloff right now. Let's ride on board with that number 4 machine as he holds off the remainder of the second pack in the 7th spot. Looking at the back of the field right now, Henry Kaloff trying to lunge up on Austin Holsey. Doesn't get it that time by. Almost gets the run, but getting it squeezed there. And shades of our most recent caution. That could have been a very similar incident, but luckily nothing comes of it. Looking further back right now, you'll see Kaloff go up to the top side, trying to make something stick. Still doesn't have anything, and Kenneth Garrell will instead try to chop down to the bottom. Looks like he's got a chance, but doesn't take it. Curtis Sabaron going to be right there too, and Curtis going to be watching this battle in the same frame as the 35 machine ends up top. He has Holsey now behind him, and Timothy Wheeler is up next. Nice run for Henry Kaloff, now up into 7th here as the drivers come by. Daffin's already into turns 3 and 4. Rest of the field still going to be following him as it stands. Alec Daffin going to lead him by this time through, and it's going to be the number 48 machine continuing to be out in front, 40 laps in as the rest of the pack comes by. Sheen is now 2nd, Matthew Weeks 3rd, and Vinny Tigner then in 4th. And the question is, do we get any more tire strategy as the night goes on? Currently haven't seen much of it, but there's still a big chance that it comes through later in the day. So far, of course, we have not seen it come around, but that could change. And with drivers running a bit more aggressive in the back of the field only, maybe the front runners can take us through, as estimates are showing 50 laps on the tires, and that should be enough to see us go down to pit road to the back lap 75 if things go the way they've gone to this point. Now, 2 cautions already, both minor incidents, but one was at the front of the field and one was at the back, so it still is definitely possible to see that as the race continues to get going. Going through 3 and 4 yet again, the field is still chasing as Alec Daffin leads the way and will take him down to the stripe with now only a 3/10 of a second lead, and the rest of the field is indeed catching up now. 42 laps in, and Liam Sheen is gaining big as the number 92 finds himself out in front of all but one driver. Now the question is, can he make that final pass and get in to the leading territory, getting through 42 laps in at 150, still oh so early, so not really the best thing to do in regards to being aggressive, but if you can make that spot and get that track position for the pit strategy, it means an awful lot. So if you can, why not? But if it's pushing it, there might be reason to maybe throttle it back a bit and let the drivers up in front of you wear out their equipment even more as they try to defend their own position. Coming through this time by Alec Daffin, Liam Sheen, and Matthew Weeks back in the same frame. Vinny Tigner and Alexander Russell going to be 4th and 5th yet again, and Timothy Wheeler now going to be ahead of Henry Kaloff, and Kenneth Garrell is fighting fiercely on that high side. Now, we haven't seen all of it this point onward. It looks like now the 57 machine of Kenneth Garrell is going to be there in the 7th spot, but at the same time, Henry Kaloff still has the bottom, working down low. That 35 machine is still trying to make it happen there. Now we got that most recent position by going to the high side and making the pass. The driver of the 35 though now sees the low side not working out too well. The draft going to be brought upon the high groove, and it's going to be Kaloff fading back to the 10th position at the rate things are going. The high side is developing a bit more later in this night, and we've seen Alec Daffin, of course, continue using the high side to defend upon Liam Sheen. He's up there right now as they go side by side through turns 1 and 2. Daffin's going to use that high groove and get clear once again, and it looks like it's going to be the 92 machine having to slot back in, but no, he'll get the side draft and keep it right there going. Side by side, still going to stick it deep into corner 3. Liam Sheen's got a shot to go for it. At the line, though, Daffin looks to be nearly at the stripe, the leader, and he'll get there. Leads another lap, but now his lead overall is in jeopardy. Turns 1 and 2 he looks to be a bit better with. He'll go in a bit deeper, Liam Sheen does, and now Daffin's going to have to play catch-up as they come through the back straightaway. Still side by side, Daffin's going to barely have the race lead, but once again, Sheen having it through 3 and 4 is as essential as it gets, and they'll be side by side as Jordan Kuntz comes down a pit road for the first time tonight. At the line, it looks like it's going to be a bit loose from Liam Sheen, which gives Daffin a bit more of an advantage to yet again hold on at the start-finish line and nearly get clear, just not enough as they come through yet again. And now the battle getting closer and closer. Liam Sheen going to get loose, and eventually he will have to be the driver that gives. Alec Daffin remains the leader, and once again, Daffin might not be the quickest driver in these longer runs, but when he gets in a groove, he's able to defend where he wants to be, where he has to be, and eventually keep that spot even if he's not in the preferred groove. Very nice defensive work so far from Alec Daffin, and 48 laps in, the driver of this number 48 remains on top. Big defensive work there. Liam Sheen now going to be in second, with Matthew Weeks then third, Vinny Tigner in fourth, and Alexander Russell then in fifth. Looking further back, Austin Holsey and Kenneth Garrell will now fight. Kenneth's going to be up to the high side, then working back down low. Austin Holsey now going to head to the middle groove. Let's ride on board with Holsey and find out what he's got going on as they make it to the start-finish line yet again. Right now for Austin Holsey, 49 laps in, he's going to be back single file, so getting that run off the backstretch, the best shot he has. He'll make some contact with the quarter panel and now have a shot to lunge it in deep, and it looks like he's got it down low. Garrell still has some momentum up high. They'll remain side by side, and when they come to the stripe, it looks like it's going to be Garrell maybe not taking it there. It's Holsey down low, has the advantage, but now it's going to be all about executing through turns 1 and 2 as they go through the first 2 turns. Austin Holsey will be clear, and Kenneth Garrell going to have to concede and let him by. All of a sudden, Alec Daffin having a bit more pressure yet again. Now, Sheen, Weeks, and Vinny Tigner all behind him, but as they come down to the line this time through, will be only 99 laps remaining. Alec Daffin has led to this point 50 laps in out of 150, and we'll be right back after an especially brief message from the Beckman Designs MX-5 Miata League. They'd love to show you what they're all about as they race on weekends with some of the most fun cars on the iRacing service, the Miatas. We'll be right back after this brief message and bring you all the action from this point onward in the Saturday Night Truck Series World 225. As we come back 52 laps in out of 150 live on FTN, Alec Daffin continues to lead the way. He's got Liam Sheen there in the second spot, and Matthew Weeks also chasing in third. If you're joining us for the first time tonight, glad to have you live on FTN. I've been your host for tonight's broadcast, David Kreutz, and the Saturday Night Truck Series are now going through their longest race of the season. So stick around for this one. It's going to be incredibly fun to watch, and the battle for the lead is continuing to heat up here now with 4 drivers within within 1 second of the top spot. Every one of them has the pace to go all the way and come through with a race victory. It might be their first win, might even be their third if you're, of course, Jordan Kuntz. But right now, it's all drivers who have not gotten it done this season looking for their first win on the campaign. And right now, advantage Cody Daffin. He'll go right up to the top slide to block on Liam Sheen. Nice defensive maneuver right there, but Sheen to work it down low because he knows these moves are going to be coming and going. Not much more you can do right now if you are Alec Daffin. At some point, you'll have to keep making the same moves, and it looks like at some point they'll become a bit more predictable. Liam Sheen down to the bottom side yet again. He'll have that shot down low, and at the line, Daffin will still be able to lead, but Sheen is getting even closer to making that spot his own. That time by, though, the caution looks to fly yet again, and the yellow flag is out with 55 laps on the board. Caution is out once more, yellow flags in the air, and this time going to be for Curtis Sabarin, losing everything on that truck. The number 6 is destroyed, and the yellow flag will come out as a result. Caution is out here from Charlotte, and Curtis Sabarin gets destroyed on the front stretch down to the back. Taking a look at it once again, it was indeed the back straightaway, but looking at once more, maybe not with any contact. You saw the number 6 alone there, so we'll take it back 1 minute on the feed and find out just what happened as Curtis Sabarin goes around for the first time tonight, and it looks like it will be his last. Taking a look through, he gets down to the back straightaway, makes contact with Kenneth Garrell, and just like that, gets turned in once again, and a brutal hit. Both drivers lose the front ends, and they are destroyed entirely. Caution is out, and we're going to take a drone shot perspective of that one because that did not look correct from our angle. Maybe there was a bit more than meets the eye, as we'll send it back 30 more seconds and see if there was any real contact or if it was just netcode. Let's find out right now and take it slow-mo as the drivers enter the back straightaway and end up moments away from disaster. And clearly, no contact by that point, and then there was contact clearly here. So netcode's going to cause the first incident on the day. Then Kenneth Garrell will send the number 6 of Curtis Sabarin deep, and they lose everything as a result. That is a huge hit, not just to Garrell, but of course to Curtis. That's the front end entirely gone, and almost the same situation Kenneth dealt with earlier in the season just last week. So live feed will send you right back to it. Alexander Russell is the race leader, 56 laps in at a 150, and the World 225 has seen its fair share of action already, more than a third of the way through. This is your third yellow flag, and we're going to be back underway by lap number 60. And quite a huge discrepancy, of course, in strategy if Alexander Russell stays out, and that he will. J.D. Laird going to come down low. He's going to take Michael Newton, and it looks like already some drivers taking it down a pit road for the first time tonight. Does look like now strategy going to be looking a bit different. Michael Newton comes in this time by. Austin Holsey looks to stay out, and just like that, caution will bring some guys down a pit road with Alexander Russell now leading from Alec Daffin. Liam Sheen is going to be second, and Matthew Weeks will be in fourth. And Alec Daffin, despite the fact he started second in the most recent restart, was able to get by quick and make it happen immediately. Did not have to hesitate at all to get right by Sam Benson, and all of a sudden, Alexander Russell now has a chance to take the lead. Of course, Benson, being the teammate of Alec Daffin, might have let him go, and now no team games will be played on this restart. It's going to be head-to-head against two of the biggest teams in this league. Going to be JDR Graphics, Shaw Racing, side-by-side for the top spot. First time tonight, they'll be going head-to-head on a restart. And looking further back, some guys still on pit road. J.D. Laird continuing to get damage repair. Kenneth Garrell going to be there as well, getting his damage fixed up. And Curtis Sabarin's been there for 3 laps now, but it looks like his chances of coming through with any prize bonus are officially null and void. Too much damage to really get that fixed and keep on racing. Tommy Osborne already going to be retired from the session, so drivers facing some troubles early, bringing us back to the green flag yet again. Alexander Russell Russell out in front. He'll have Alec Daffin right beside him, and Liam Sheen then in third. Going to be Matthew Weeks fourth, Vinny Tigner fifth, and Austin Holsey position number 6. 7th will head on down to Timothy Wheeler. Henry Kaloff is now 8th. It's Phillip Brown in 9th, and to round out the top 10, James Nelson is in 10th. And then Michael Newton going to be right there as well. You'll see Jordan Kuntz is coming to the play. Jordan is back on pit road himself to get more damage repaired, and we're going to be heading back green exactly at lap 59. So far, so good for most of these drivers. It's been a clinic put on by Alec Daffin. Now the question is, can anyone break through and get by this number 48? Time to find out whether or not it is possible here and now. It'll be the number 27, your race leader, as we head back to the green flag for the 3rd time tonight. Restart number 3, Alexander Russell and Alec Daffin. Time to get back at it, and here we go. As the field comes by, this time by, pace car lights are off. Lap number 60. Let's get back into motion. Looks like Alexander Russell going to be on older tires than the rest of the field. Looking to be on something a bit more old than everyone else by a wide margin of over 15 laps here. So we'll see if that's going to be the move or if there's anything more we can see from Russell as strategy continues. Old tires versus new, head-to-head on teams, but Russell gets a big jump, and we're back underway with restart number 3 from Charlotte. Looks like now going to be some team games being played up in front as Alec Daffin shoots it 3 wide, and he'll get right around Alexander Russell. Liam Sheen now has the top spot. Matthew Weeks is going to be down low, and all of a sudden Sheen is going to see that his teammate gets moved by immediately. The 48 of Daffin is going to be down, but not out at all, and he's going to get back into the picture immediately after losing all that time. Just like that, Daffin going to be back in frame and taking it down the back straightaway, already going to take the 2nd spot, and he is once again a rocket ship. 60 laps in, Daffin is back on the move and finds himself right behind Liam Sheen yet again. Inside the cockpit here with Alec Daffin, let's find out what the next move is as the 48 machine takes it down to the stripe yet again, 1/10 of a second away. Liam Sheen is back in front. Now he has that clean air, but Daffin is at all that time up in the top spot. He knows what to do in defense, and he knows how to put down a fast lap when the chips are down. Now time to find out what he has in store for Liam Sheen right ahead of him. Liam knows that it's going to get close as he gets a bit loose off to the final corner. Sheen going to be continuing to use that shallow exit to cut distance, but Daffin has the draft, and that's the biggest advantage of them all as they come down to the start-finish line and move on to turns 1 and 2. Liam Sheen now knows that Daffin is back riding his coattails and looking to get back up in front for his own in just a few laps time. Matthew Weeks going to be in the 3rd spot, Vinny Tigner in 4th, Timothy Wheeler going to be 5th, and there's a big bundle of drivers right behind Wheeler. James Nelson, Alexander Russell. In addition, you'll see Jordan Kuntz and Austin Holsey now all going to be fighting one another for position at the same time. The double file, the number 5 machine with the 27. Austin Holsey going to push Jordan Kuntz just a bit more, and aerodynamic pushing going to give that number 5 the edge. Now Jordan's on the way. He's in 7th, claiming more and more positions right back. Might have all his damage fixed now as he continues to get back into the picture with Nelson, Wheeler, and Vinny Tigner right ahead. Side by side, it is a huge run there for James Nelson, and all of a sudden, shooting out a cannon, the number 75 of Nelson from the back of the pack up into 5th, finds himself in top 5 contention for the first time all night long. On debut, not looking bad at all, and now finds himself about the quickest man on the track. And all of a sudden, it's going to be the number 75 of James Nelson gaining back some time to the leaders. Liam Sheen's got that top spot and has the track position advantage. Alec Daffin remains in 2nd, and Matthew Weeks holds his own in 3rd. And now the question is, can Alec Daffin make anything of it? He finds himself still oh so close to making a spot back but it is going to take a lot more than having the experience to get it done. Liam Sheen's another driver that's very challenging to defend on. He knows absolutely more about iRacing than most of the drivers in the field, and while Daffin is a veteran himself, Liam Sheen with some NASCAR experience knows a thing or two about making it happen at the pro level. He'll get a bit of wiggle lead that time by, and Daffin's going to have a chance to slice back in, but no use. Liam's going to continue leading, and Alec Daffin will continue to stay right behind. Side by side, Liam Sheen's going to go right down low, and it looks like now the number 48 machine will take it even further to the bottom. Looks like Sheen opts to take it up high, down the back straightaway, and now the number 48 is back on the bumper. Still no place to move at the final moments. And it's all about that last second moment to get away from the field. As it stands, of course, Liam Sheen leads the way, but if Daffin can find that opening, certainly going to be much more that comes out of this run than what we've seen so far. As it stands, Daffin going to remain in that second spot with Matthew Weeks in third, and Weeks has been having a very good return run. 67 laps in, he finds himself in third, and the number 11 machine has been no slouch. He knows what it's like to get a race win here in this league, but simply has not done so in Season 5. Fewer opportunities on a 12-race schedule, but even then, if it's a good run for Matthew Weeks, more often than not, he can capitalize on it, and he might not be the fastest truck on the day, but he can make it happen, like it or not. Matthew Weeks here to stay in the lead battle as he keeps it right behind the juggernauts of Alec Daffin and Liam Sheen. Matthew gonna look down to the inside line, but doesn't think to go down there for certain. He'll let Alec Daffin continue to do most of the heavy lifting as Liam Sheen continues to keep it out in front for his own. 68 laps in, heading down to lap number 69, and it's been a nice performance so far for Sheen out in front with Daffin right behind as well, and Matthew Weeks in the third spot. Vinny Tigner going to be fourth right now with Jordan Kuntz fifth. James Nelson fades back to sixth, and Timothy Wheeler continues to battle fiercely with Michael Newton, Austin Holsey, Philip Brown, and Henry Kaloff as Alexander Russell and J.D. Laird round out the lead lappers. Sam Benson is one lap down. Kenneth Gurrell and Curtis Sabarin remain on pit road, at least 13 laps down each. Liam Sheen makes it across the start-finish line once more and will take him back to lap 70, now gaining a bit more of an edge. Alec Daffin 0.2 of a second on back, and Matthew Weeks likewise fades back about 0.4. So all of a sudden, maybe Liam Sheen getting a bit more of the advantage he'd like to have as the 92 machine keeps himself with the advantage. Alec Daffin gonna have to think of a different way to get back in front. Earlier in this race, and even as of recent, it looked like it would be his night to win, and maybe he's the driver still to beat. But so far, without that race lead, he has not been able to make a lunge to get it back, hasn't put himself in the right position to get the spots that he desperately needs, and right now, second place is all he has. $30 on the day regardless, but he'd love to grab that $50 bonus and come home on top where Liam Sheen is right now. $50 goes to your race winner, $30 to second, and $20 to your final man on the podium in third. $100 on the line tonight, and it's going to be Sheen leading the way, having that prize in his hands. He's going to have to take it the rest of the way, though. Half of this race nearly down, still half the race to go. And with only 3 drivers really in our vicinity for the race lead, not many others are going to be in contention to make it happen till the end. Of course, the driver of Liam Sheen has the lead, but further on back, it's Weeks and Daffin, and then no man's land till you go back to Vinny Tigner. So far, Vinny has been consistently the 4th quickest driver. Position number 4 for Vinny Tigner, and absolutely exactly the night he needs as well to keep it consistent in the points. Liam Sheen and Matthew Weeks have not been running full time for the championship, so effectively Vinny Tigner's second of those who have a chance inside the playoff bubble, and that's another great night for him. He's always up there fighting for a top 5, a top 3. He's gotten 2 podiums on the season, looking for his 3rd, but still a ways to go until he gets to that top 3 as those bundle of drivers just ahead continue to move out of sight, and Jordan Kuntz is now beginning to catch him. Despite some damage early, now Jordan Kuntz looks to be the fastest man on the racetrack. 31.536 for Jordan that time by, and all of a sudden he's now going to be the quickest driver, gaining time not only on Vinny Tigner but the podium that leads the way as as it stands. So Liam Sheen might be quick, but it looks like the Shaw Racing driver of Jordan Kuntz is yet again quicker at 75 laps in at a 100. Next time by, making it halfway around the world in the World 225. It has been Liam Sheen controlling so far, then Alec Daffin in second, Matthew Weeks in third, and Vinny Tigner in the fourth spot. Closest battle going to be now between the number 54 and the 13 of Michael Newton, and Austin Holsey is going to be right there as well. The JBL driver trying to pull into the top 10 on debut, and it looks like Austin Holsey wants a chance at the top 10 yet again for his own right. 76 laps in at a 150, halfway down, halfway to go, 75 laps left. Let's take a lap on board with Liam Sheen, your halfway race leader. Still watching Liam Sheen lap after lap, continuing to maintain that advantage. He finds himself leading as it looks like Alexander Russell takes it down to pit road on a 48-lap stint. So it looks like nearly 50 laps these drivers can handle it, and it looks like these drivers up in front still have about 29 more laps until that point. Alexander Russell's alternate strategy will see him fall to the back of the field, and now he's going to be way back compared to the remainder of these drivers. Just like that, big advantage for Alexander Russell's teammate in Liam Sheen. Looks like this long run strategy is coming into favor, and the rest of the field, they know it. Most of these drivers are on the same stint of strategy, either 20, 21, or 22 laps on tire, so not a major difference, save for, of course, Alexander Russell, and he's going to fade back as a consequence. Looks like differentiation from the norm is not what you want to do tonight. Pit road has been mostly inactive, save for the routine pit stops. It matters more when you go down, more of course compared to what you go down for. And it looks like that early pit stop for Alexander Russell not doing him any favors. Russell gonna find himself now in the 14th spot, just passing by his teammate of JD Laird. JD, the last man, gonna be inside the lead lap. He's in 12th right now and in jeopardy of being put one lap down with Liam Sheen out in front. Got a great crowd watching here from the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway, and as always, if you enjoy the action tonight, be sure to leave a like on the stream and subscribe. Subscribing to FTN gives you unlimited chat room access for any broadcast that we have. We'd love to have you aboard racing with the best of the best here on Saturday night. This truck series, unlike most others, a lot of road to pro caliber drivers, say Liam Sheen, say a guy like Jordan Kuntz, of course, Lane Graves is one of them as well. Liam Sheen, you see, we've said him a few times over, but these guys are big time drivers in the road to pro sphere. For Lane Graves, he nearly made it to round 2. For Liam Sheen, he's still fighting in the NASCAR college world, and Jordan Kuntz, likewise, for a very small team in Peak Performance Motorsports, able to take himself near the cut line for the top 70. These are some of the best drivers in the trucks in the entirety of iRacing, and they show it every night they go out on the track, giving everyone a great show to watch no matter where we head to. And Liam Sheen tonight has been able to make that most recent restart work in his favor. Now Liam Sheen has it in front of Alec Daffin, and Matthew Weeks is looking for second as he looks down on the lower side of the front straightaway. Doesn't have room. He'll peek out bottom for the first time and now take it deep. That's going to be Matthew Weeks going for it that time by. Doesn't get there all the way, but as close as he can get for the time being. Matthew Weeks going to find himself on the back straightaway in the 3rd spot, and Alec Daffin going to be still in 2nd. But take a look who's now in the picture as well. Vinny Tigner up in a 4th. Lee Goner in that number 12 now going to be inside the 4th spot, and he's going to be right behind the podium as it stands. Great running so far for Vinny, and it's the best he's looked all night long. Might be a long run truck coming into play right now, and Tigner still chasing his first win of the season. Let's ride on board with this number 12 as he continues to work it out. Right in front of him is Matthew Weeks, but he'll take it right down low. And now getting into the picture for the top three, it looks like Vinny Tigner at the line will hold an advantage. Not major, but just enough to be scored at third at the stripe. So great movement so far for Vinny Tigner, and the number 12 machine now going to be out in front of Matthew Weeks. And now it's 67 to go. A new driver involved in the battle up in front. Vinny's going to be now chasing down Alec Daffin, and Daffin, who looked oh so good early in the race, is now fading a bit further back. Liam Sheen is leading that pack, and he has no competition right now. 0.7 of a second ahead. Daffin not able to save any more equipment. It looks like Vinny Tigner is going to be hot on his heels, and he'll take it down to the bottom side immediately. Already looking for a chance to get that slot. They'll be side by side at the back straightaway, and it looks like now the 12's got the room. He'll take it right down low, and it looks like more drivers coming into pit road that time by, namely going to be Sam Benson this time through, and Benson will make it in to slot number 7 on pit road. Liam Sheen going to lead the way as Benson comes through, and just like that, another driver taking a competitive pit stop on the day. 65 laps to go, and drivers changing up the strategy. That might be the money stop the way things are going, as we're seeing drivers already make it in. These stints are coming to a close, and drivers are already prepared for what is next. Might be the best move to go in early, then run the rest of the race, and that's the intended, I believe, outcome for Sam Benson. Taking a look at strategy overall, that appears to be the case. Longest a driver can run is estimated to be about 50 laps, but splitting this segment up is a bit better than doing so. So they're going to try to get it in early to pit road and go from there, as opposed to risking it all and going long. It looks like that's going to be the way to go for some drivers in competition. Sam Benson, the first of which, rest of the pack still chasing as they'll come through turns 3 and 4 yet again. And Liam Sheen going to keep it there, front 0.8 of a second back to Vinny Tigner. Alec Daffin's third, and Matthew Weeks now comes down in fourth. Matthew's down and in, loses some control, but keeps it together. And now it's going to be Matthew Weeks coming in 31 laps into his stint. So it looks like the caution laps big time inflating the numbers, and it's going to be 31 flat for Matthew Weeks. All of a sudden, drivers choosing to come in a bit earlier than before. With 63 laps to go, it might be Liam Sheen, the next man down and in. All of a sudden, it's going to become the leading drivers choosing to opt to go through pit road. Matthew Weeks goes in, Vinny Tigner, Alec Daffin, they do not, but now pit road going to see the cycle in motion. 88 laps through out of 150, and so far we've seen 3 pit stops, most recently Matthew Weeks and the number 11 getting back on the way. Now with pit strategy in mind, we might see some drivers try to take that undercut to get back into contention, especially on strategy. For a guy like Alec Daffin, that might be the go-to move. The number 48 machine is currently in that 3rd spot and lost another spot to Vinny Tigner, so all of a sudden, Daffin is on the outside looking in of the battle for the lead. Vinny is about the fastest man on the track right now, 0.2 of a second quicker than Liam Sheen that time by, so maybe the best move is to come into pit road early, just a few laps earlier, and get back on the track with new tires, run some hot laps, get that advantage, and hope for the best for the rest of strategy. Maybe bank on a yellow flag, maybe go into pit road early one more time. Trying something different might be the best thing right now. It's all about getting that $50 prize at the end of the night for these drivers. It's a win or go home mentality, even though second in place, of course, is compensated, and so is third. $50 on the line, and these drivers are going to want to work for it as much as they can. 60 laps to go. Liam Sheen leads the way. He's got that number 12 of Vinny Tigner now in his back bumper, and all of a sudden, Vinny's got a shot to go for it. Looking off the deck lid of the 92, you'll see a lap machine ahead, and that is J.D. Laird, but Vinny Tigner too quick to be denied. Now he'll find himself only within 1/10.5 of your top man, and Vinny will keep himself in winning contention. 15/100ths of a second. That's what separates your top 2 as Vinny Tigner takes it right down low. Does he have a chance to make it stick? Not so far, but another chance to make more time up, and that he does. Vinny Tigner getting closer and closer, And it looks like now with lap machine on the way, both drivers take it down to the bottom. From Vinny's perspective, it's a bit different, and you'll see it here as he takes a bit of a wider arc out of the final corner. The driver of the number 12, Vinny Tigner, looking for his first career win in the Saturday Night Truck Series era, sees the caution fly, and it will fly as Alec Daffin goes down to pit road. It follows for Timothy Wheeler, and 93 laps in, we are back under yellow here from Charlotte. And after an especially long yellow flag distance, or drought per se, Wheeler going to go down to the bottom of the track. He makes contact there with a 54, and it looks like it's going to be an incident involving, of course, Philip Brown. That will send Wheeler to the back of the field, spinning and getting it back on the way with some damage on that left front. So caution's out. Timothy Wheeler is going to go around, and just like that, we are back under caution for the fourth time tonight. Liam Sheen will lead the way, and now pit cycle going to be done all under yellow, bringing them all back down yet again. Sheen, Tigner, Kuntz, Brown, and Henry Calla all make their way in immediately, and now we're back with some strategy in play. Going to be the leader of Jordan Kuntz. No longer, it's Liam Sheen out in front as he takes the pack down and in. And with Liam Sheen making it through this time by rest of the field, going to follow him down to pit road. And now it's going to be all about this pit stop for some of these drivers. Alec Daffin's going to stay out on the track. Looks like Henry Caloff does as well, so we'll see what the intention is for these drivers as Liam Sheen gets the jump on pit road. Then going to be followed by Jordan Kuntz, Vinny Tigner, and not too far behind, James Nelson with Philip Brown coming through as well. Timothy Wheeler going to be scored as 8th for now, but he'll be sent back by the number 17 of Michael Newton. And finally, looks like it's going to be Wheeler in the 10th spot as they come off pit road. Henry Caloff is the man that leads the way, and the number 35 is out in front for the first time tonight with 57 laps to go. As we're under yellow here on FTM, this has been the World 225, and Henry Caloff is your race leader. Been an exciting one so far, that is for certain. And with this in mind, we'd love to bring you a bit more extended coverage under the yellow flag. We're going to bring you some Fireball Talks nonstop here on FTN. Your race leader is currently Henry Caloff, and we'll send you to our brief FTN nonstop break and return after these brief messages.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
This message is brought to you by the rebrand of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This publication may not be reposted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. NASCAR Camping World Ford F-150. NASCAR Xfinity Ford Mustang. NASCAR Cup Series Next-Gen Ford Mustang. Arca Menards. This has been the publication of the redesign and rebranding of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This message may not be reposted, republicated, or rebroadcasted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. Thank you, and thanks for your time.
And as we return back on FTN with 55 laps remaining. You just came from our Fireball Talks non-stop break of the race. Alec Daffin leads with Liam Sheen there in second, and Jordan Kuntz now back in third. And the number 48 machine plays the strategy game just right, but he's on a set of tire 1 lap older, so maybe that's going to be the make or breaks of the strategy tonight. 1 lap of age. Could that be the difference? Liam Sheen no longer in first, and as you saw how easy it was to maintain the lead with clean air, maybe this was the right move. Track position, clean air, tire strategy all coming to a head for the first time tonight, and all of a sudden all of these factors and more make up the biggest restart of the year to this point. $50 on the line with 55 laps to go. We've seen some clean green racing this point. Now the question is, how much more can we see, or will we see? Paystar is going to come down this time by with a field back in formation. 16 drivers still on the track, and 13 of which are on the lead lap, so only 1 retiree. Still many drivers in the hunt, and Daffin back up front. 55 laps to go, coming down to 44 in 10 time. It's going to be 54 laps to go as we head back to the green flag in the World 225. We're back on our way in the home stretch from Charlotte. And now it's going to be Liam Sheen down to the bottom side, already trying to make a move and get that top spot right back. He liked the track position, so he's going to want to take it once again. Liam Sheen drops down to the bottom side and gets very loose. So does Alec Daffin. Top 2 drivers working each other over. This will give an opportunity now to Jordan Kuntz. Jordan stays on the bottom side for now. Lets the 2 drivers work at it, but he knows if anything, he must help his teammate here. The Shaw Racing drivers are both in the picture, and now it's time for them to maybe work together and make some things happen as the night goes on. The 48 machine going to be on the back bumper of Sheen, sends him deeper in the turns 3 and 4. Is this the right move? Let's find out as Sheen gets right through the corner, rolls through successfully. Now Daffin going to be a bit further back, and it looks like right now Liam Sheen has that lead all to his own. 52 laps remaining. A very nice encounter with the number 48 machine, and it looks like Sheen is going to dispose of him immediately. Now the question is, how does Alec Daffin bounce back? He's still right there in the train down the back straightaway. He does not look low, almost had a chance to, but thinks better of it, and he'll stay there inside the main groove, watching as he has his teammate behind, his biggest race rival all night long, just up in front. And at lap 100, we've hit the triple digits. Now it's time to find out who's really got control as they make it around. This time by 51 laps remaining. Jordan Kuntz now going to head up top and make it a split. The end goal of this maneuver is to make it a bit more pressure on Liam Sheen. The number 92 opts to block high, giving that number 48 the opportunity to go down low alone. And now it's going to be a 2-on-1 tandem fighting to make it happen. Now it's going to be Alec Daffin working it down low. Once again, Kuntz gets defense up high, and they're splitting this one perfect with Daffin now down to the bottom. Teamwork trying to make the dream work here as Alec Daffin goes down low. Now Jordan Kuntz has a big run, and what's Jordan gonna do with it this time? By sit on the back bumper, now go down low and switch up spots. Jordan Kuntz is once again quick, and he's looking for the race lead in his own right. Looking to go 3 races in a row with successive race victories. This is big, and now it looks like it's gonna be an even bigger fight with the number 5 machine back in play. And we're going to take a ride on board here with the number 5 machine of Jordan Kuntz as he continues to chase down Liam Sheen. Let's take a look at his method as he tries to get back in the top spot to get the big cash prize at the end of night. 8 laps to go. Jordan Coots remains on the back bumper of Liam Sheen. Top 2 drivers separate by less than 0.2 of a second, and all of a sudden now that number 5 machine is on rails, getting closer and closer, and just like that, even quicker. That time by going to be just about 0.03 of a second slower, only running 2 consecutive 30.87 laps, so he's very consistent right now and has that draft, so he can back off if necessary, but as it stands, no reason to. Just keep on moving, get that momentum, and keep it from there. It's going to be all about putting the power down, putting the pressure down, and right now, Liam Sheen, he's not going to be cracking. He knows what this has all been about all race long. He's been in the fight ever since the very beginning, and now wants to cap it off with a bang. He's been successful at this point. Why break down now? Sheen goes up to the high side. Now Jordan Coots has a shot down low. Best he's looked at it all night long, and they'll be side by side as they go for it down the back straightaway. Jordan Coots now going to have it right down low, and that might be the biggest mistake for Sheen, giving that number 5 the opening, but it looks like he'll work back off it nice and smooth, and just like that, Liam Sheen gets it back to the top spot. Liam leads it, and Jordan Coots remains there in second. 45 laps to go this time by, and once again the number 92 is up in front. It looks like Coots is going to lay back just a bit more, and Alec Daffin retains his 3rd spot. 4th position now going to be occupied by James Nelson, and Nelson has come alive in this second half. Looked to be a bottom feeder for the most of the day, and all of a sudden Nelson, now comfortable, is running ahead of Vinny Tigner, former race leader, and definitely locking in very well for a chance to come through for a first career top 5 in his first race. So not bad at all from the number 75 machine. Now finds himself side by side with Tigner as Liam Sheen remains the race leader. They've been up and down dueling for it time after time, but it looks like the advantage is once again going to be held by Sheen as Jordan Coots fades back just a bit more. Nothing major. They've been oh so close to each other, but every minor difference makes everything. Right now the big question is, what can Jordan Coots do? These two are so even on pace that it's such a minute difference. You almost can't even tell the way these guys have been driving. But later in the going, it's all going to be about tire fall off, and that's when Jordan Coots might have the advantage compared to almost every driver in this series. Nobody can save better than Jordan Coots, and when he gets in a groove, he gets a huge groove indeed. That number 5 can save tires and almost anyone else can't do it the same way. That's what got him several wins last season, holding on older sets, then getting on cycle and blowing the competition away immediately thereafter. And maybe tonight that's going to be the end goal, doing so once again. 42 laps to go, 15 laps in, so one more pit stop is effectively required. Estimates are showing we will have the stage split, not a stage and bonus points per se, but having this final segment of the run split into 2 pieces, and it looks like with 42 laps left in the going, pit stops will be coming within the next 25 laps of racing, which will give these guys plenty of time to sell it amongst themselves. Alec Daffin has not faded back all too big, still going to be within 1 second of the lead, still within a half second of it, so nothing to worry about for him so far. Maybe the strategy can get him back in the prime position, because right now that number 5 continues to chase down Sheen, but so far been a 1-2-3 procedure. They've all been single file, logging these laps, coming down to the final segment. 41 laps to go, heading into only 40 this time by. Control has been in the realm of course, Liam Sheen from the very beginning. It looks like now he has it without any competition. Alec Daffin held on to lead early, but all of a sudden, it looks like it's going to be that number 92 out on his lonesome. 111 laps in here in Charlotte. The World 225 has gone fantastic so far, and it looks like now with 40 remaining, the only final question is, well, strategy. If we get it done, is there any change? Who will run up? Who will run down? Who can benefit the most here in the final stages of this event? Right now, the top 3 are much ahead of Vinny Tigner and James Nelson. And then from there, the field is especially spread apart. Matthew Weeks is in 6th, Phillip Brown is in 7th, Michael Newton is in 8th, and Austin Holsey is in 9th. Timothy Wheeler's position number 10 with Alexander Russell then 11th, and Henry Kaloff is in 12th with J.D. Laird, the final man in the running in the lead lap. He is in 13th and has not been able to recover after an early incident with the number 5 of Jordan Kuntz. Finds himself now on the back bumper of Sam Benson. He'll try to make a move around that number 88, and that he does. So Benson going to be passed there as JD makes another position. But it's not going to be for any real track spot. It looks like Sam Benson already one lap down, and Kenneth Garrell once again with major damage, muscling it around the track at 22 laps adrift from the remainder of the field. Curtis Barron's going to be 59 laps down, but still technically with us, so he could come back to the driving whenever he pleases, but so far has chosen not to do so. Liam Sheen is now going to have a much bigger advantage, 0.3 of a second's worth on Jordan Kuntz, and Alec Daffin is now going to be half a second back in the 3rd spot. So looks like Jordan Kuntz is losing more time than Alec Daffin, and it looks like that is indeed the case looking at lap times. That time through, Alec Daffin was quicker by 4/100ths of a second compared to Jordan Kuntz, and just about on par with Liam Sheen. So maybe there's still some life in that number 48 truck later in the going. Daffin might be able to come back into play when we least expected him. It looks like he is now here. Alec Daffin looking to win this race once again, and that time by he runs a 32.02, dead even with his Shaw Racing teammate just ahead. And in this race, all the 3 Shaw Racing drivers have been in control at one point or another. All 3 of them having a taste of the race lead, but so far Alec Daffin has been the best of the bunch. While Jordan Kuntz does run in 2nd right now, it looks like tonight might be Alec Daffin's if things go the way they were at the earlier stage. If Daffin can break through, get some strategy in motion, and maybe take it till the end just on that notion, it could be his first career victory in the SNT era, and also, of course, breaking the drought of victories going back to last season where he won it in Kentucky on a Thursday, not a Saturday. He won it on a Thursday night, the only race not held on Saturday last season, as an emergency, making sure we could get through the remainder of the championship. That's what locked Daffin into the Final 4. He came 2nd in the championship race, and now finds himself right behind his championship-winning teammate. Once again, these 2 drivers running 1-2 is a tale as old as time in this series. They're always up there consistently fighting, and both are going to be for Shaw Racing this season. Alec Daffin not expecting to come back to Shaw Racing, but after some developments in the offseason, he made it back there, extended his deal, and keeps himself with the team as Jordan Kuntz comes here for the first time after the demise, of course, of his original team, Proximity Racing, now here with Shaw Racing and Peak Performance Motorsports on the other side of the pond in the NASCAR world. So some big changes for the 5, now bringing himself into the Shaw Racing fold, and they've been the dominant team so far as pit strategy comes into play. Matthew Weeks comes down this time by. He's the first man in, and Sam Benson retires for the night, 1 lap down in 14th. Only the 2nd retiree as Weeks is down and in. Now we're going to see drivers splitting the stage. 32 laps to go. The final run going to be separate into 2 30-odd lap runs, one of which coming to a close very soon, and the next is coming up moments away. As the top 3 bunch up yet again, Jordan Kuntz is now going to be a bit quicker, and it looks like how Liam Sheen was with Alec Daffin earlier in the race. After a certain point in the run, it looks like having that clean air, you shred your tires a bit more, pushing harder, and these guys in the draft don't have to, so they're laying back, letting Liam Sheen do some of the work, and that's all they need right now in regards to keeping inside the battle, and Liam Sheen is having to face the consequences. A bit slower that time by 0.2 of a second separate your top 2 drivers, and only 0.3 separate your top 3. That's how close it is out in front with 31 laps remaining, and J.D. Laird comes down a bit road this time by. The number 23 machine makes it through and finds himself rounding out the top dozen as it stands. and his teammate makes it by once again and making a total of 30 laps remaining here on FTN, the World 225. All comes down to one more run. Liam Sheen currently finds himself advantageous, looking to pick up a $50 bonus at the end of night, and he still has to deal with the Shaw Racing duo of Daffin and Jordan Kuntz. As a whole, Shaw Racing going to come home with $50 if this is the way the race ended. $30 going to the second place driver of Jordan Kuntz, and then a third, Alec Daffin, taking 20. So definitely going to be a big, of course, night for the Shaw Racing group as a whole, but Liam Sheen is going to be the man who comes home on top as an individual. First on the order, 122 laps in, and more drivers coming that time by. Vinny Tigner, Alexander Russell, both going to make their way down, 10th and 11th respectively, so the undercut already going to be on its way. Some drivers are making it down to pit road early, and now from there, we got to see who else makes it. Liam Sheen and Jordan Kuntz both are going to lose it and then get back in control. My oh my, both drivers go sideways through the corner, and it looks like they both are somehow able to make it around. Alec Daffin deciding not to go with them. That might have been the winning move. Jordan Kuntz and Liam Sheen all out of sorts. And luckily, both drivers put down a fantastic effort to keep it in control, almost entirely sideways, and they slide into the exit. And take a look at this once again. Sheen's gonna bobble, then Jordan Kuntz does on the exact same spot, and Jordan dramatically goes sideways, and then Liam Sheen tries to hold off, but he's then gonna go sideways as well. Jordan gets it going, and it looks like Liam Sheen gets it down quicker. That could have been some major damage for both drivers, and going to lose an awful lot of time as Alec Daffin now just needs to have a smooth and steady pit entry, and he will be good to go. The saving grace for Alec Daffin, he's going to do it different, and he now finds himself leading, 27 to go. Not only will he have newer tires, but he'll have a bit less time on pit road. For the driver, the number 5 in Vinny Tigner, of course, that's the number 12. He had, of course, the number 12, Vinny Tigner, himself a time on the timing charts according to what we have, 41.6 through pit road. Now looking back to the 5, Jordan Kuntz 34.3, for Liam Sheen 37 flat. So it looks like that timing and scoring discrepancy comes from the fact that the drivers were sliding before they got to pit road, and some drivers slid in it. Jordan Kuntz only slid before. As for Liam Sheen, he did most of his in the heart of the first few pit boxes. Now it's going to be only 25 laps remaining. Alec Daffin leads, Phillip Brown is scored in second, and Michael Newton is in third. Timothy Wheeler holds his own in fourth, and Henry Kaloff is going to slide down too. And he makes the exact same mistake, but does get it straight and gets it back going once again. It looks like this pit road entry has a flair for the dramatic, and another driver is going to come through as a victim. Henry Kaloff, the third man in succession to save it, but Kaloff loses time as well, and it looks like it's going to be a common trait later in the race. Phillip Brown comes in this time by no issue. And Alec Daffin, now one of the final few still out on the track. He leads by over 1 lap compared to the rest of the field. Liam Sheen is 1 lap down right behind him, looking to get himself back in the frame. And Daffin has to go down to pit road sometime soon. It looks like this will not be the lap. 23 laps to go, coming this time by. It looks like the number 48 will remain out, and now with Liam Sheen going down to unlap himself, it's time to see what's left for the remainder of this race. $50 on the line, so we're going to crank it up with the best cameras on the iRacing platform, providing our wonderful onboard cameras for tonight's event. It's Track Cams for Gourmets and TrackCams22.com for the best quality iRacing cameras on the market with over 100 track and car combinations. Visit TrackCams22.com for more information as we crank it up in the World 22.5 times 10 over, World 225, my apologies, with 22 laps to go. Let's crank it up courtesy of our friends at TrackCams22.com. now with only 17 laps remaining. It is Michael Newton at the front of the field. He has not yet pit in 40 consecutive laps and wants to come through at the end of the night as the race winner, holding on longer than any other driver. That is Michael Newton's plan right now as he continues to lead the field with the number 17 machine out in front, but not for long. Liam Sheen then takes it and goes 3 wide, gets right by Curtis Abaron as well, and all of a sudden, now it's going to be Liam Sheen at the head of the field, leading the way by 0.5 of a second over Michael Newton. Now Matthew Weeks is 4 seconds down, and it looks like Jordan Coots is 6 back, and Alec Daffin is now 9 seconds adrift, but with the fastest tires in the field by a wide margin. The question is, can he make up over 1 second a lap and get back there? He needs to be 1 second quicker for the remaining laps on the night, 15 of which, and while he's been fast so far, he's going to have to claw him down with all he's got left in the truck as fast as he can. The most aggression. He needs the perfect scenario to get by, and Timothy Wheeler, we'll see if he gives it to him this time through, is going to end up going down to the bottom side there, not going to lift, and Daffin's going to have to work by this number 22 by any means necessary. He might be the fastest man on the track right now, but Liam Sheen has a huge advantage of 14 laps to go. That big advantage is not just the track position, but it's also the distance right now. Liam Sheen is so close to getting to the finish of this race. It's going to be so hard for anyone else to make that time up before all is said and done. You might be quicker right now, but at the same time, you might not be close enough. Distance is a big factor right now in the final few laps of the race. A baker's dozen to get it done. Liam Sheen out in front with 13 laps left on the night. Matthew Weeks is going to be now in second with Jordan Coots then in third. And Vinny Tigner's now going to be fourth with Alec Daffin 8 seconds back. Now trying to make a pass on Vinny. He'll go up to the high side and have that number 12 right on his bottom side. He's going to try to get through. Gets there immediately. And then from there, going to be the number 5 of Jordan Coots who lets him by. Now it's going to be a full-on hunt. The number 48 by his teammate into the top 3. The best chance for Shaw Racing to win. Makes it on the podium, but for JDR Graphics, it looks like Liam Sheen has the best chances. He's got that major advantage over the rest of the field. 7 seconds worth with 12 laps to go, and that time by Alec Daffin was only 0.6 of a second faster. Doing the quick math there, he'd have to make up that insane margin, and it looks like it would be 6 seconds worth of time, now 7 seconds worth of time that he would have to make up if he's 0.6 of a second faster every lap. He will barely get there if he keeps it at that pace. And right now he is at that rate. So if he can continue to be that fast, there is still a mathematical chance for Alec Daffin to come through with what he has. 7 laps of fresher tire. It's going to be a very close call, but he is much quicker right now and already going to be fighting against Matthew Weeks. He needs to get by this number 11 as fast as possible, though. Every pass means much, and it looks like Matthew Weeks will let him by with ease. Now Daffin goes up high, and he's going to find himself in the second spot. Now has $30 on the night waiting for him if he gets by 10 more laps, but he wants to go for gold, and Liam Sheen wants to hold on. The rookie in the number 92 leads the way with Alec Daffin still chasing, but he has not yet found anything more, and it looks like for now, Liam Sheen continues to keep himself in the best spot. Alec Daffin, he's in second, 6.1 seconds adrift with 10 laps remaining, and he's still 0.6 of a second faster every time around. He's going to need a bit more than that for the final few laps, but he still is in good spirits, making up more time, and now the lap machines are the only thing that separate these top 2. They're so far apart from each other the cameras will show you, but as you can see now, looking at the number 6 at Curtis Sabarin, he goes into turn 3, and then Alec Daffin finds himself on the back straightaway, going through just a few seconds back. So that's going to show you the real difference right now. In the middle of the 2 leaders is Curtis Sabarin, and wherever Curtis is, you can get a good marker of where Alec Daffin will be. Curtis that time will take it into turn 1, and not too far behind, Alec Daffin will follow it. Just like that. 5.6 seconds to make up in a total of 8 more laps. It looks like Daffin is wearing out his stuff though, and still finds himself in second here. 8 laps remaining. Liam Sheen leads, and he has a shot to take it to the end better than anyone else. 8 more laps, and the caution is out. The caution's out for the first time in over 50 laps. It looks like the Alexander Russell 27 is down low and has some trouble. Michael Newton also going to be involved, and the caution flies after such a long green flag run. We're headed to overtime, and now strategies collide in one last dash. And how about that one? The replay going to show you what happened here. It's going to be the number 13 of Michael Newton. Gets down low, tags Russell, sends him over. Then the caution flies. Luckily, no major damage. A great job avoiding there for the number 75. And it looks like it's going to be, of course, the 75 machine making it around of James Nelson. But both Newton and, of course, Alexander Russell getting involved as the caution flies yet again. Going to take a look on board there with James Nelson to see how he got through it. Let's take a ride on board once again to watch our most recent caution, which will send us in the final laps of this race. And just barely able to navigate around that wreck. Nice move for the 75 machine of James Nelson, and he'll have himself the 6th spot when we head down to pit road. This time by Liam Sheen going to lead the way, and it looks like no drivers going down pit road, and it looks like we have lost the amount of tire sets left to go. 4 tire sets on display for tonight, and it looks like for these drivers they've used at least 2 of which. Not quite sure about those who have used their 3rd and final, because 4 tire sets include the one you start the race on and 3 left in the pit. So it believes to be, for most drivers, they've gone through their 3 on pit road, and now they're stuck with what they've got. Liam Sheen on a 7-lap older tire set will have to lead the field to the green flag. How about this scenario for the number 6 machine? Liam Sheen out in front, old tires, they're worn out more than anyone else's, and he's got the most responsibility with the biggest opportunity to get it done. $50 on the line, the biggest prize pool of the season to this point, and $100 overall for the podium. Whoever can maintain the top 3 spots will come home with some money, a minimum of $20 and a maximum of $50 on display. Liam Sheen this time buying an pit road once again. But it looks like once again, indeed, no chance to hop down low. Track position is everything in a final dash. You cannot lose what you already have. So stick with what you got and go from there. 6 laps to go, and it won't be officially overtime. It looks like timing and scoring telling us that it will be only a total of 4 laps to go when we head back green. That's what it's going to come down to. 4 more laps on the day with 5 laps remaining. Just like that, it's going to be Liam Sheen out in front with Alec Daffin second, and these 2 drivers have been the juggernauts all night long, looking to take it until the very end. Now, just beyond that point, you're going to see Matthew Weeks in 3rd, Vinny Tigner in 4th, and to round out the top 5, it is indeed Jordan Kuntz. The Shaw Racing drivers 1st and 5th, those that still remain, and they've got a shot once again to take it to victory lane, and they've been oh so dominant this season. But tonight, Daffin looking to pull his own weight and make it happen in the biggest race of the season. Save for the championship night, $50 on the line, longest race, and this is what it comes down to. 5 laps to go, and it now looks to be 4 laps will be 1 more under pacing. 3-lap dash. It's official, and it's going to come down to only a total of 4.5 miles to settle the show here in the World 225. Coming through. This time by, going to be 1 more lap of pacing to get to the end. All comes down to whether or not these drivers can end up intact by the white flag. Of course, if we get a caution, then we'll be heading into overtime officially. If not, though, race will, of course, be official at the white flag. Checkers are record procedures, as always, and we're at a high likelihood of seeing an overtime in the case these guys get risky. Higher likelihood than most other circumstances. This was going to be tire strategy till the very end. Mix that tire strategy and add in just a hint of overtime style chaos. That's what we have right now. That is what is on full display, and with only a total of 4 laps remaining, coming to 3, this is it. Coming through this time by the 92 of Liam Sheen down low, Alec Daffin up top, and this is what they'll make of it. Only 3 laps and $50 if the winner can get it done. $100 on display in the top 3 trucks. Rest of the field goes home with nothing. Winner go home mentality. It's the final moments, the final laps, and time to see who will take it another gear, another level to claim the victory in the World 225. Can Liam Sheen hold on with old tires? Will Alec Daffin use his advantage as hard as he can and push it to the limit? Or will someone outlying, like, say, Vinny Tigner, Matthew Weeks, or Jordan Kuntz, take it to the end of their own right and make it happen at the checkered flag? Let's find out this time by with some wheel spin. The number 92 of Liam Sheen gets a big jump and nearly wrecks the truck. He's back on the way with 3 laps left. And Sheen absolutely got the start that he desired there. He got out much quicker than anyone else, and now going to find himself up ahead with Alec Daffin chasing him right down. Taking a look on board with Daffin. He knows this is the moment. He is quicker. Now the question is, how hard will Liam Sheen defend? Liam goes up top. Time for Daffin to try to take it down bottom, and he's going to continue to work it. He's going to get squeezed up high. 2 laps to go. This time by between Liam Sheen and Alec Daffin. Making moves up to the high side and then down to low, trying every route he can find, every route he can make of it. Daffin's got a shot down to the bottom side, but continues to get blocked. Another swerve up high, trying to keep the number 48 desperately behind him. Liam Sheen remains in the lead, but it looks like a hole has been found, and Daffin will try once again to take it down to the bottom. Now some help from Alexander Russell as Daffin is sent right down low to the bottom. 1 more lap to go. Daffin's still in the picture, but take a look at Alexander Russell now in second. The 27 machine goes down low, and Russell steals the race lead. It looks like new tires are the way to go, and a huge breakout performance with JD Laird coming. 1, 2, 3 for JDR Graphics, and they've taken control through 3 and 4. Chaos ensuing. Daffin wrecks, but JDR Graphics comes through with a podium sweep, and Alexander Russell will win the World 225. Have a day, JDR. The team takes home $100, and their top driver tonight takes home $50. My oh my, victory for one team in its entirety. And the team game continues to be played all season long. For the first time, it's a clean sweep on the podium, and in the race where it matters most, Alexander Russell comes through and will win for JDR Graphics and get it done in the World 225. Celebrations on the way. What a night this has been already. We'll get your top 3 interviews in just a moment as JDR Graphics clean sweeps the field and gets it done with a 1-2-3 result in Charlotte. It's going to be Alexander Russell winning from JD Laird, his team boss, and Liam Sheen in third. New tires come at the end and they win big. Vinny Tigner holds on for 4th. It'll be James Nelson then 5th, with Austin Holsey position number 6, Matthew Weeks 7th, Jordan Kuntz 8th, Timothy Wheeler then 9th, and finally Alec Daffin from pole position, rounding out the top 10, 15 seconds back. 1 lap down, going to be Phillip Brown and Henry Kaloff 12th, and then Michael Newton 13th, Kenneth Garrellan 14th, Sam Benson 15th, and then Curtis Abaron 16th, with Tommy Osborne and Carter Casey 17th and 18th. Burning it down, the top 3 get to their celebration, and Alexander Russell has gotten it done in the World 225. And the team all doing burnouts together as it stands. Alexander Russell still going to be moving back and forth on the track. 3 drivers all celebrating one cause, and they are still taking a trip around. JD Laird going to be in the grass right now. That number 23 machine going to get on the way with Liam Sheen. They're pushing each other bumper to bumper, and Alexander Russell has gone his own way, taking a very slow Polish victory lap to relish in the moment. Alexander Russell, a winner for the first time this season, and the JDR crew comes first, second, and third. What a way to get it done. How about this team performance as Russell comes through for the race victory in the World 225. And as Alexander Russell continues to limp around the circuit, we're going to get your top 3 interviews, and it looks like they're already set in the waiting room. So our winning man on the track right now, continuing the celebration, but a surprise breakout performance on that final restart. And for the first time this season, Alexander Russell comes through with a commanding charge to victory lane, the 27 on top with a huge final breakout in that last lap. How about this victory? $50 go your way, and the team comes home on top.
Hey, I didn't think that strategy was gonna work. I stayed out in, what was it, like lap 55 or something, and everyone pit. I was like, that's not good. Fell through the field, got trapped a lap down under caution, fell through the field again, and we just happened to plan it out for if there was a late race yellow. What a charge! I don't know what to say. That was 3 laps that 100% commitment. There was a full focus on the track.
And having to be in sync with the track and the drivers there, making it from the back of the field on up and getting a little help along the way with those new tires. How big was it, that difference? I mean, it looked big, but for you, working through drivers who looked much slower, how much of a challenge was it doing that navigation in real time?
I'd say it was challenging just because with the new tires, I had some damage, made the car really loose, and I didn't want to hit anyone, so just had to plan my moves smart, take the runs where I could get them, and thankfully we got through and we saw daylight at the end of the tunnel.
And coming through with the biggest prize of the season, daylight at the very end, and bringing the team right there with you for a 1-2-3. How is it for the guys at JDR Graphics getting it done in such a big way, clean sweeping the podium, first time for a team doing so all season?
I'd say the guys put together a heck of a setup. It's around the fixed car. We just planned the strategy out to where we had a chance at win no matter what.
Taking that chance to win when it mattered the most. Alexander Russell, first win in your Saturday Night Truck Series career. The number 27 on top from Charlotte. Still more than half the season in front of us. Do you get it done big tonight? Anything else you'd like to add before we get back to the racing, which will be next at Pocono?
I'd just like to thank the guys who were in the call for the whole race. It was really frustrating having to deal with a lot of the cautions. I'd like to thank the broadcast for putting this on, the league admins, everyone who's a part of this truck, this team. Bill on the box was really smart. The crew got it done.
And the crew gets it done for Alexander Russell in very close fashion. Big time move on that final restart, and the 27 back in victory lane, this time in the Saturday Night Truck Series for the very first time in his career. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And Alexander Russell going to be on the move, the first man on the order, and his team boss, JD Laird, comes out of nowhere to make it happen for a second place finish in the World 225. Those new tires came through, and they destroyed the remainder of the field, just powering in till the very end. JD, with that final strategy in play, how was it making the last dash and getting through for a podium?
Feel like I got what I should have got before. I was hoping to get money, and I did. So I'm glad the luck played out into my way for a change, because it seems like these races, it just never does. But right on.
and able to make it happen with some strategy calls, much different from the field. Looks like you and Alexander both on the same page there. So how was it working it over from the longer runs to the very end where things get so different? Looks like everything changed when it mattered the most for you and the team.
Yeah, I wouldn't really call it a good page. Like, we were on the same page. It's more like a crumpled, ripped, coffee-stained page of the book. It was kind of like, why am I here on this page? Why am I trying to do this? It's like, when in doubt, do this, and it's all the way down there at the edge of the book. Yeah, after what happened early on, I was just like, well, whatever happens, happens. It's just they couldn't fix it all. I'd expected just to run probably 13th, and then when everybody wrecked, I was like 9th. I'm like, cool, right on. But yeah, there was no strat to that. It was just basically, if it turns into what it did at the end of the race, have a set of tires because we're not in it. And when everybody pit, I think on lap 90, I think it was just me and Alex only had a set of tires, maybe one or two. I think there was one other. I think it was the 75, maybe. But we were all on tires, and I think we all understood the assignment that we needed to bust through the field when we did. And surprisingly enough, we did.
And making it happen when it mattered most. It looks like back on the podium as an entirety of the team. And I know I talked to Alexander about it, but for you as the team owner, seeing this happen, a 1-2-3 clean sweep, how do you feel with the podium taking $100 home as a collective?
Wait, Liam listed me on the team? Or him on the team? Right on. So I didn't know that. Right on. 1, 2, 3. Cool. I guess I'm for it. But
I saw he had the paint scheme and the logo, so I was thinking y'all were part of it together.
Wait, what truck was he running? I don't even know.
Well, we're looking at his number 92 right now on broadcast. Taking a look at the deck lid, it was there. I thought there was a JDR logo on it.
Oh, well, if it's there, right on. 1, 2, 3. I guess I'll take it. But yeah, it was. I don't really look at it as far as the team aspect. It was cool for Alex because he was kind of frustrated because he was playing a long game from lap 1 and it never went his way, and then it finally went our way, or went not our way, his way, and he lucked out. So props to the whole 27 team. You made me look stupid today. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to make any more of these with my schedule, but at least I can end the top 3 on top.
And even if this is the final race of the season for JD Laird, a great podium effort, $30 coming through in the second spot, and it's a 1-2 for the JDR Graphics branded trucks. Anything else you'd like to add after tonight?
I'll let it slide. It's 1, 2.5. But yeah, I got to give a shout out to everybody that's on the truck. Wex, Premier Security, Anderson Surfboards, Aquatech Classing, Langford Farm Spirited by Brad Simpson, Jake Swanson, Shock Technology. I think I already said them. We're going to ignore the guy that's plastered all over the car because that's me. Shout out to you guys at FTN for putting on the broadcast and doing the Road to Pro stuff. I think that's pretty solid that you guys are putting them on the spot. Everybody here at STN or SNT for letting us play, drive our desks to the fullest, and hopefully the rest of the season, it's a good show for you guys.
And hopefully you're looking for some more great action. JD Laird, second man on the podium tonight in the World 225, coming through like a rocket ship on the final restart. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. I appreciate it.
Now JD on the way, one final driver, the number 92 machine, unbranded tonight, but running with the team, working very well, the JDR Graphics guys, and the final man, Liam Sheen, to round out the podium. How about that for the 92, holding on old tires, but still getting some money at the end of the day, $20 come home in the third spot.
I mean, I'll take it. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'll take the third. I mean, I guess I'm glad to keep a third, but yeah. I saw that yellow come out, and I was like, okay, well, that's that. Because I know someone had tires left, and it was Alex, so all I could do is just go as early as I could. I wheel spun, and I just I held on there. I mean, I held off Alec when he was on 7-lap fresher tires. I guess he burned his stuff off when he was going, but he got to run into the corner. I just drove it in as hard as I could and then parked it. And by then Alex was there, so I mean, it was over. So, yeah.
It all came down to that final restart, but throughout the long run, you were one of the quickest trucks all throughout the night. So how was it with the strategy going into the final restart, making it work in these longer distance runs we saw more of as the night went on?
Well, I didn't think they could make a set drive worse than the fixed set, but it drove terrible. So, I mean, all I could do was just throttle smash mid-corner to get it to turn, and it would eventually, I mean, Vinny had it figured out, but, you know, I don't care enough to really practice too much. So, I mean, he had it figured out. He had my number on the long run. I think Alex had it a little bit quicker when me and Alec were battling. But, yeah, I mean, all I could do is just drive it, smash it mid-corner, and hope it would rotate. That's the only thing I could do to get it on the right rear because it's pushing the nose so hard. So, yeah, I mean, beyond that, long run, I mean, I wasn't the quickest because of how you had to drive it. And then short run, I mean, I could go as hard as Alec did. I could go as hard as Jordan did. All he did in that long run was just keep Jordan in my dirty air in that 2/10 bubble, so he'd plow even harder than I was. So yeah, as long as I could do that, I knew eventually he'd start cliffing, and then he did. And then I had the craziest pit stop ever. It was by far the wildest one I've ever done. I mean, I was 7 over at the line, and I still made it. So I guess I got to slow down like just in time. Like I was waiting for the black flag, and I never got it. So that was crucial. I was gone by 4 or 5 seconds over Jordan, which was well more than I had before the pit stop, and Vinny was like 8 seconds back. So I had it if it went green, but it didn't go green. So I mean, I guess congrats to Alex on his win. JD got second too after that little thing with Jordan. So I mean, I'll take a third out of that. Can't say I'll be back, but we'll see. It sucks when races come down to that. That's all.
And either way, still able to hold off for the final spot on the podium. So Liam Sheena, third on the night. Is there anything else you'd like to add after the racing here in Charlotte?
Trucks blank. Someone sponsor me, please. Other than that, hope some drivers can clean it up, because I saw some of the stuff, like anytime we had a yellow, I opened up the stream on my other monitor and I saw some incredibly preventable stuff. I mean, the last yellow was a little ridiculous. So, I mean, hope these drivers clean it up. I'm not counting on it, but it was a bit ridiculous with some of these moves tonight. So, not really the admin's fault, not the driver's fault. I mean, I know we need fields and leagues to make the league go. I just hope we could get these drivers to sort things out, because I don't know, some people have to check themselves before they make a move. So other than that, yeah, I guess congrats to the top two. Other than that, wish I could say it was a good race, but I can't really say so. So yeah, thanks for broadcasting.
And there we have it, Liam Sheen, third on the day tonight in the World 225. Thank you for your time. Liam Sheen on the move. The number 92 comes home for the final spot on the podium, with JD Laird then in the second spot, and Alexander Russell coming through first on the day with a late race charge on that final restart. Chaos at the end, and he comes home with the $50 bonus, $100 for your podium drivers, and the big share goes to your race winner, Alexander Russell. A fantastic night of action here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and we'll be back live on FTN on Monday night for another triple header. Going to be, of course, the FORL Truck Series, the Integrity Ignite Series, and the Schumacher Racing League, all head-to-head. Another great showcase of action on Monday night on FTN. So we hope you stick around till then. That's when we will be next live, and there's going to be a lot of great action from that point onward into the month of September. Got to thank you all for your support once again watching this presentation of the Saturday Night Truck Series in the World 225. As always, I'll be your host for tonight's broadcast, David Kreutz, and I greatly appreciate your support. If you did enjoy it, once again, leave a like and subscribing is the most direct way of supporting the channel as a whole. We thank you all for watching live on FTN, and from our studios to your homes, we hope you enjoyed tonight's presentation, and we hope to see you as a viewer yet again whenever we're live on FTN. Thank you all for your support, and we hope you have a great night.